In the smoky cafes and gaslit streets of Paris, two lives collided in a way that would forever change the course of poetry and scandalize an entire city. Paul Verlaine, a man already celebrated for his elegant verses, had built a life of order, propriety, and social expectation. Yet beneath his polished exterior lurked a restlessness, a longing for something that no polite society could provide. It was in this restless void that Arthur Rimbaud appeared, a boy of barely 16, with eyes like fire and a spirit too wild to contain. From the moment their correspondence began, something electric sparked between them. Rimbaud's words were reckless, beautiful, and daring, and Verlaine could not resist the pull of their brilliance. When Rimbaud arrived in Paris, young, defiant, and reckless, Verlaine felt the thrill of life itself ignite. Their meetings were chaotic, filled with laughter, tension, and desire. They drank, they wrote, they argued, and yet they could not bear to be apart. Rimbaud challenged Verlaine in ways no one else ever had, mocking his manners, testing his patience, and at the same time awakening a passion in him that he had never known. For Verlaine, Rimbaud was freedom incarnate, a living, breathing rebellion against the constraints of society, morality, and even self-restraint. Their love, if it could be called that, was a tempest. Tenderness existed only fleetingly, eclipsed by moments of anger, jealousy, and raw desire. They moved together across Europe, Paris, Brussels, London, leaving chaos wherever they went. Rimbaud wrote feverishly, each line of poetry both a confession and a provocation, while Verlaine, utterly consumed, followed him blindly, sacrificing his marriage, his career, and his reputation. Their devotion was dangerous. It burned with a heat that both delighted and destroyed. The darkness of their passion became inevitable. In Brussels, the intensity reached its breaking point. Arguments turned to violence, love to despair. One night, in a fit of anguish and obsession, Verlaine drew a revolver. A shot rang out. Rimbaud was wounded, and Verlaine was arrested. Their relationship shattered, leaving only echoes of what had been. Rimbaud, undeterred by imprisonment or scandal, continued to challenge the world with his poetry, though eventually even that would be abandoned. Verlaine endured incarceration, haunted by the boy who had changed him forever. Rimbaud disappeared from the literary world before the age of 21, wandering through foreign lands, chasing experiences instead of verses, leaving behind the incendiary legacy of his poems. Verlaine, released from prison, carried the memory of Rimbaud like a wound that never fully healed. Their love had been unsustainable, destructive, yet unforgettable, a collision of souls that could not exist quietly. In their brief, turbulent years together, they showed the world that passion need not be safe to be real, that love could be as fierce and fleeting as the verses they wrote. What remained after the storm was poetry that scorched the heart and scandal that enthralled Parisian society. Their story endures not as a gentle romance, but as an anthem to the wild, untamable force of desire, art, and human connection. It is a story of brilliance and ruin, of devotion and destruction, of two lives entwined so completely that even separation could not erase the bond. Arthur Rimbaud and Paul Verlaine, boy and man, poet and poet, lover and destroyer. Their story remains one of the most intense and haunting tales of love ever recorded.